Hello everyone and welcome in my lovely mess. I haven't recorded I think in 2 weeks. I'm not sure when I'm going to publish this video, but hopefully this night, maybe at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock AM, I will wake up. Hair, I don't know what to do with them, to be honest. I'm no makeup, no hair stylist or anything like that, but I hope you're not coming for this and you're waiting for me to grab something with my hands with a woolly thing and show it to you. Therefore, today I'm going to show you progress on the sweater. I did the ribbing or hem properly, I think I should say hem. And just because I read the pattern now what I need to do for the sleeves, I'll show you a finished object, which is a lovely vest, mini vest, and I will write down the name for, it hasn't been released yet as far as I'm recording now, which is 7th of May. But if it's going to be, then I will going to put the link down below to the pattern per se. Lovely pattern anyway. And then I finished another one. Well, you know, you've probably seen it on Instagram a while back that I did a little thingy. Maybe I'll put over here in a sec too. So stay tuned if you want to hear and look at the beautiful yarn, not at me. Okay, quickly maybe introduced just because I don't do that. I know I don't. I don't know, do you care even? I don't think you would care. But my name is Barbara. I live in Ireland. I'm Polish, therefore you may hear some things going on over here with my accent. Some people say accent, some people say words, some people say other stuff. But I live in Ireland, County Limerick, with my lovely family. We've been trying for kids for so many years, 16 years, and we have now 2. And we have my mother-in-law here helping us, and she is the diamond in this whole thing. Therefore, I truly recommend, if you're aiming for the second child to have, and the first one is under 2 or maybe even under 3, I'm not sure now, I don't have experience, but definitely under 2, please get help, please. Okay. Therefore, let's start with the tiniest little finished object that I done. So here it is. Or I should say, here they are. So we have this little tiny baby mittens. Yay! So now, I know I promised to write it down for you how I made these. There are for 2-year-old, and I think it will fit most of the 2-year-olds. I know some are here and there. My one is a tall one, 2-year-old, I would say. Everyone says she's tall. I was tall, so hello. And I am tall, so hey ho. Therefore, maybe for the vest, I will just show you a glimpse, but it will not be official kind of all about the vest. I think the next episode will be. Therefore, the thumbnail will show you the mittens, because I'm going to write down over here on the screen things for you in a sec, and I will be talking about it through. Hopefully, I'm not going to make a mistake with talking. So definitely, I may make mistake what I say, but if you have a pattern written down somewhere on the screen now, it's the way it should be. Okay, so here are the mittens. I use finger and weight yarn, and I use US size 1, which is 2.25mm knitting needles. I started from this part, and I was continuing up. Therefore, on the screen you can see what I've tried. I've knitted a pair for her, which I don't know, we don't know where it is, but I did, I think, 36 stitches over that. Over here we have 38, and I wrote down it's an odd number because, even if it's not odd, because you can divide it by 2. I'm not sure why I did that. Why I wrote down odd number. Maybe it's not over that. And if I figure out while I'm editing why I had an odd written down in my notes, I'll let you know. I did a 1x1 ribbing, so you know what I mean? Like 38 by 2 would be fine, right? Unless it comes like odd, it means that when I split it, when I'm doing magic loop method, when I'm knitting them, maybe that's gives me that I start not from the purl, I start with the knit. I don't know. Over here I did a bind off, like a what do you call it, back loop bind off. Normally that bind off is used only when you like adding stitches to existing progress, let's say under armpit. However, I heard that when you make a sweater, people like to also make the twisted cable cast on. That's how we call it. there's 2 names for it, or even 3 sometimes, for one method over here in knitting. So just in case if you completely new, it's quite hard to catch up what's what. Anyway, so I did that one because I want to have it stretchy and I want to have it done, and I did these 2 at a time. If I have some footage, I will be just putting it over here while I'm talking, or maybe at the end, so it makes sense when you're watching it, when I finish about the mittens. Fingerless, because there's no fingers. And meanwhile, you see the pattern per set. So 1 by 1 ribbing, and I did that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rounds. And then I did some rounds, I think maybe 3, check what I have written down, before I start increasing for the gusset. That's a proper name, but basically it's this extra fabric for the thumb, so you need to edit. So I did not do that at the moment. I figure out I need some fabric just before I start increasing over here. So we made this, I need something over here, and so that was a plain knitting. You could see the pattern, and then I started increasing over here. And normally with my free pattern, I have a free pattern that out, and I have a markers over that. And you know, when you knit with kids, you don't want markers here and there flying around or stucking into their noses and stuff like that. Therefore, I changed increase method, but I kept the idea of it, if that makes sense. Also, what I did, I just make the same thumbs on the same side, because at the end of the day, there's no increasing, decreasing. So if you flip them one way on another way, they should be the same, you know. So when I had them on the knitting needles, I had them the same way, and I was always going the same. I went with the last effort as I could. Therefore, like I said, we did ribbing, we did a bit of plain knitting now, and we're going to get increases. The one that I like with the, when I'm doing a toe up sock, is the yarn over ones, because 1 round you have yarn over and another one you knit. However, with these, because they're for little people, I had to make a yarn over and knit the yarn over at the same time, in the same round, because I wanted to have the progress, the fabric, quicker. If I had it with different ratio, slower, like with the toe, you had it like that, but with this I want to have it quicker, because you know their thumbs are not so long, therefore I had to have it more. I think I did it to 21 stitches increased. So I had 1 stitch that I make, as you have seen in the pattern, make 1, and we have yarn overs, and then I knit through yarn overs the way that I'm not making holes, just to let you know for the beginner knitters. That's what the increase yarn over stands for. So you make it on the knitting needle, you could see that the yarn over is kind of in front, the yarn on the needle is this way or that way, and that way it leans towards that way, if that makes sense. Yeah, hopefully I'm explaining everything on the screen. So I was knitting plain and knowing that I need to hit the yarn over, that will be increased, so I don't need markers. And I was knitting, I was hitting another yarn over, knit through that one and make a yarn over again. And again, the yarn round looked the same way, therefore I did not have to pay attention too much where I was, because I was just waiting for that yarn over to show, let's say that way. So the first one I was making before yarn over, I was making yarn over and I was knitting yarn over, I was knitting through it, and I hit the yarn over and knit through that and make a new one, and so on until I reached 21 stitches. So yeah, put them on hold, come back over here, and I added 2 stitches, I think, over here. Just check the pattern here or there. I may have, you don't have to, you could, it's up to you. I think I did add 2 stitches, but I don't think there's a need for it. And then I was just knitting plain, and then I decided just to bind off with a standard bind off, which is like you knit, right? You have 2 stitches, you pull 1 through, and then you knit, you pull through, you knit, and you pull through. That's a simple enough explanation if you tried. And I did the same thing when I went back to make the thumbs. I did that. So now some footage of, hopefully, snips of the photos and videos in case I record something making these. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. Am I going to write down pattern of this? I don't know. It's free, like I said. You can use it if you want to for your personal use or knit for friends. I hope you're going to enjoy them. Try that. I know your gauge may be different. Your yarn could be different. You may use the same knitting and it may end up being tighter, so smaller, or looser knitters will get them slightly bigger. So play with your gauge. That's what I would say as a beginner. Play with the yarn and see, and knitting needles, and see what it is. This is what I'm getting. I should have measured what kind of gauge I'm getting, but okay, 2.5 centimeters, isn't it? It's like, oh, I would be even guessing for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm getting 8. So like in the standard socks, 32 stitches in 4-inch. So yeah, and I like this tension. Okay, hopefully it did not take me that long and you were entertained with my trying to explain to you how to make this. Also, I forgot to mention this was knitted on the long circle of knitting needles, but I used DPNs for the, you probably see them on the footage anyway, for the thumbs. And that's that. It was a quick one, to be honest, if you had time. Yeah. My washing machine is calling me. Quick finish object, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to show you. And next episode, I'm going to tell you maybe more about it, hopefully. So here it is, unless I've showed you that already. There is a questioning in regards to my waves. So they're not like, you know, I pull them flat. I hope maybe I put the footage for that or not. I did check my last episode. And then I hang it like, you know, probably I should probably just pin them with something and get that, although there could be an issue in regards like how many stitches I put over here, but also this created a sturdy construction, and this, you know, it's a garter, it will come up, so probably better blocking would make it the way it should look. Like I said, I would just make side, so slip stitch border, let's say that way, and then it'd be easier to pick up. So hopefully whoever is like maybe advanced knitter would understand what I'm talking about. So that's on the side because I don't want this to take ages. And then progress on the Wishbone Sweater down below, link to her YouTube channel, beautiful. Oh my god, she's after giving birth and her story cesarean, and you know, she looks like she didn't go through anything. She, like, this is a mess. She's like perfectly set up with everything. So jealous. That's jealousy. That's how she's making it, and I want to make the same thing. It's just like, you know, like, look. Anyway, but I have footage over here, some photos of this sweater when it was before and then after blocking, show you the gauge with this thing, and I blocked it. It took me 2 or maybe even 3 days to kind of dry it properly, and my drying was on the drying kind of IKEA thing that you dry, and then I just hanging over that just to make sure that it's properly dried on my things. Anyway, it increased by overall 6 inches. So it was 16 inches flat, it went to 19 inches. It's quite okay fit. However, this construction on the top is not the way it's on her. And I also noticed she has less of those things, so it's like the gauge could be bigger. I know she could be a tinier person than I am. I'm quite a big person. So I was even trying to count how many of these, like I see flowers. Do you see flowers? Oh yeah, write down in the comment. Do you see that this is up, or is it down for you, or is it up for you? Is it up or is it down when you're looking at it? Because that could be like a vision play thing. It bulks up over here for me. I know I made the, as you can see, beautiful German short row shaping. So you could see that this section is lower than this one. So I'm thinking when I'm adding the sleeves, it will it will have to hold the weight, and maybe it will not create the bulk on the back, because it does for me. And therefore this is quite not so loose, it's not now tight, but what I do, I just flip it over, and I think I like the look of it with this sweater, although I like the look of the sample sweater. So sample sweater is the one the designer is wearing and how she wears it. I like it, but Yeah, and I noticed also on the project page, so basically when you go to a project page and you want to go to other people projects, you could see that people either have it fitted or they have it oversized, and you really have to get to the spot the way she has it to fit you. So I'm still knitting what she calls it large, extra large, and I'm like, do I have to really go to 2 extra larges for this? I probably should, to have it like really kind of, but then I was afraid it'd be baggy. Anyway, so I'm going with it, and I was thinking to have it as a vest, but I do have yarn, and if I didn't have yarn, yeah, maybe what I'll do, I will weight this now with my Thermomix and then tell you how much I have. So in case I would want to make a vest in the future, I will know, check. Now, for my information, this is 447 grams, so 450 grams, which is 9 balls already of drops charisma yarn, and I used 5mm knitting needle, which I don't know where I put, and I need to find it for sleeves. If I want, then it'll be 6mm, obviously, isn't it? We go with a bigger. Small circumference, you knit tighter. However, I'm going to have loads of stitches on the sleeve. It'd be more like a hat than a sleeve per se, in regards to the sizing. And I was hoping to use my, I'm not sure, can you see? There's something over there. Set of needles that I bought with not my money, for my birthday money, for, to knit sleeves on this. But the needles are 10 inches. So it's just like 20-25 centimeters, right? And my arm used to, because I did not measure myself, that's also the thing. And my body changed after birth, giving a birth, right? So, and I'm hoping I'm going to go back, but I'm not really. I'm at that stage. Therefore, when I'm looking at the women who gave birth, like, and after a month, they're like, how on earth she is looking the same as before? And I'm just explaining because I'm older. I'm way older than them, and that's my explanation. So anyway, so I'm not going to use it because also it will involve cables and stuff like that, and I will have a number of stitches for the sleeves as if I had for a hat. And as you can see, my arm is like maybe 3 hats. Just saying. What do you have a thought? What's your thoughts about knitting sweaters and stuff like that? That's my like first cable sweater, if if my mind works properly. If that's incorrect, I don't remember. So yeah, let me know, have you knitted sleeves for cable sweater, or maybe this sweater if you knitted before, and what did you do? I need to pick up, and that's also, I'm not sure when I'm going to do that with the kiddos, but just to show you the beauty of it. So I have a color, I have beautiful cables. I also checked how many these things she has, how many I have. So she knitted smaller size. And then this is ribbing, and I loved it. And then as you can see, I have a flipping things over here. I have a tutorial how to make tubular bind off, because people don't, I think personally, I did not like tubular bind off in the longer circumference, because I was thinking I have to have a long thing and swing like crazy. But I figure out if I have a smaller one, what I'm going to do next, if I have those hanging things, how I'm going to make them work or tie them up afterwards. And I make a tutorial about that. So if you're interested, go check it out. I'm going to link it down below. If I didn't, please remind me in comments. I will do that. It's really a few minutes. I can do that at night. And it's so mind-blowing and so nice because it's so simple to put it back. And especially if I had to rip it, then I have just sections to do. I know that it's at the end, there is another end. So I did not really put it because I wasn't sure will I be happy with the length on me, and I was quite okay. Okay, I'll show you. So you see this? It is not outside, although, you know, I did not go over recommended even size from this, and it should be 3mm, and probably, yeah, so I think this is a way better option. And I'm not sure, can you see this? But it's, oh yeah, you see this? It's like popping up, but maybe if I have this hanging something better. Beautiful. This area is bigger at the moment because I'm breastfeeding, but it will, you know what I mean if you've done that. And then what do you think? I think it's a proper length. Gardening, I'm going to garden actually, you know, I'm meant to be out and I'm recording this, so hopefully, and it already took loads of minutes, so I think the length is fine, isn't it? And then even for a vest would be nice, but I'm afraid that this, I need to wait to stretch the back, I think. So, yeah, I think it's nice. People will be focusing on the sweater, not on my face. I love that. Also, I love the hats because of that. People are focusing on my hats, not my face. Okay, I think that's all. I need to really go because she had been there like maybe half an hour already. With two of them. One is sleeping. That's a good thing. I think it's not crying or anything like that. But, you know, I need to go. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know all your thoughts, all your opinions, all your ideas, all suggestions, everything there, you know. And I hope we will make it through.